All right, Bulls and Bears, back with another dose. We've got a lot to talk about, folks. Economic reality is about ready to hit. A lot of Americans, millions of people, are about ready to face an economic financial reckoning very soon. It's looking like January is going to be possibly a breaking point and a turning point. We're going to talk about what's about to happen. And they're floating out the idea, this administration's floating out the idea of $2,000 rebate checks because of the tariffs. We're going to tell you what's going to happen with that. If it happens, it's going to be negative consequences. We're going to get into that here. A lot more today. Also, we've got the snow and ice behind us. We've got an Arctic blast hitting part of the country. So I thought I'd join some of you in the ice and snow festivities and have a nice little icicle and snow background today. So hope everybody's doing well and not freezing. Hopefully the heat's still turned on and you're not facing a financial threat of not paying your heat bill or your energy bill and having to choose between that and food. Like a lot of people, we see these food lines now with thousands of people in them just because of one or two missed paychecks. It's only been, about a 30-day shutdown so far, and people having to wait multiple hours for food after only one or two missed paychecks, folks. So that just shows you the divide we have in this country, where some people think that everyone's rich, everyone's got money, because when they go out, they see people at the restaurants, they see people at the mall or at the club, what have you, spending money. Folks, most people are just spending money that they have on credit. They don't actually have the money saved up. Savings is at a historical low or near a historical low. It bounced off the bottom a little bit. And it'll probably do that again when tax returns show up. And then it'll drop back down. But overall, it's been very, very low. Savings is low. People contributing to their 401ks is low. It's the lowest it's been in decades. People pulling money out of their 401ks and taking out emergency withdrawals from their retirement accounts is at a record high for that. So this is how people are scraping by right now. So yes, people are still spending money. And back to what we talked about a couple of reports ago, it's almost silly to try to save money, because by the time you save up for something, the prices went up even more, right? Unless you could save up for it in a few weeks or months and then you can buy it cash, that's great. But most people, to make a big purchase, have to save up for years, like a vehicle or a home especially. And by the time they save up, prices have went up even more. It's completely insane, ridiculous. We've never seen, not just inflation like this, we've never seen prices stay at this level, these levels. All right, so inflation, no problem if it comes back down. If we see a bout of inflation followed by deflation, no problem, right? Prices corrected, just like the housing market corrected back in 2008, 9, and 10. No problem, right? Buying opportunity. Now it seems like there's never going to be a correction. The housing bubble, all these economic, just price levels in general, not even housing bubble, just price levels are elevated and they don't seem to ever be coming back down. So what's going to happen if everybody gets $2,000 stimulus checks? Let's take a look. And here it is. Commander-in-Chief says $2,000 tariff dividends will be paid out. So a couple different things, a couple different angles to look at this. One is, okay, some people might get back some of the money that they had to pay an extra cost because of the tariffs. So are you getting the money that you paid extra for? Like the amount you paid extra, is the $2,000 going to cover that? Especially when you look over the past year, the price increases that we've seen because of the tariffs and other things too. It's not just that. So that's one way to look at it. Two, go back just to 2020 and when the stimulus checks was at 2021. What happened to the cost of living because of the stimulus checks and more, not just because of the stimulus checks, but what happened at the same time the stimulus checks went out and the months after that and the years after that? Prices increase. People use the stimulus checks not to save up. Some of them used the stimulus checks to pay out. We're talking about the health crisis one. The stimulus checks that were sent out in 2021, 22, maybe in 2023. I think it was 21 and 22. Anyways, people spent those checks very quickly. One, they paid off debt. Two, they went out and bought a car that they probably shouldn't have bought. They used it as a down payment. And what happened? Price levels exploded higher. Folks, these stimulus checks, if they go out, and I'll believe it when I see it. If they do go out, it's going to be another bout of bad inflation. Instead of 2 or 3% inflation, you're going to see the year over year number probably jumped up to 4 or 5%. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's the official number. We know that the real number is even worse than that. But just looking at the official number for a second, I think that's what it's going to jump up to. I mean, let me know what you think down in the comments. So a couple things. One, it's just going to give some people back some of the money that they spent extra because of the tariffs, causing the cost of living to go higher, causing prices to rise on many different products. And then two, it's just going to cause more inflation because people are going to go out and spend the money probably as quickly as possible, or they'll pay off some bills. That's what it's going to be, folks. So it's not going to fix anything. It's another Band-Aid on a broken leg. That seems to be the only things that they're coming up with. Band-Aids on broken legs. Temporary, not even fixes. Temporary, feel-good things. They're not even really going to make a big difference. Not even a difference at all. They're going to actually make things worse. Let me just try to be clear. They're going to make things worse. At first, it's going to seem nice. Oh, $2,000. Look at this. I can do whatever. Go to Disney World. Some people will probably just blow it on something like that. But it's going to make things worse because the cost of living is going to go up. People are going to be using it to put down payments on a car, to go on shopping sprees. They're not going to save it. And it's just going to make things worse, folks. But let's get into this here. And I want to show you a couple things here. Take a look at this. And the news is all over the place now. I mean, consumer debt now $18.5 trillion. And that's just consumer debt. That doesn't count national debt. Doesn't count your local, state, or city consumer debt, not consumer debt, but public debt. It doesn't count that. This is just private, personal debt on credit cards, loan balances, etc. And 18.5 trillion. Americans are falling behind on credit cards, auto loans, mortgages. They're asking the question here: is it time to worry? Is it time to worry? Well, I would say don't worry, because worrying is not going to fix anything. And what's another $1 trillion? Look at the national debt. 38 something trillion dollars. At this point, it doesn't even matter. Once something cannot be paid off, doesn't even matter. If someone told you tomorrow that the national debt jumped from 38 trillion to 100 trillion, would that really bother you that much? It probably wouldn't even faze anybody, because once it gets to a point where you can't pay it off, then what's the difference, right? The country is insolvent. Credit card balances climbed by $24 billion, reaching an all-time high. The overall delinquency rate rose to 4.5%. And that's the sharpest quarterly rise in 2 years. So obviously, things are headed in the wrong direction. But what are people doing? Are they saving money? Well, some people have to, because they don't have any extra money to spend. But the people that have some money, and the people that have credit especially, are still doing things. We talk a lot about how people are going to sporting events, right? The average ticket sporting event is between $40 and $90. And that's for the bad seats. If you want good seats, you're talking hundreds of dollars for a sporting event. Well, look, let's jump into sports for a minute. Now, some of you may be saying, why are we talking about sports? Folks, sports, and especially entertainment, but sports specifically, is such a huge part of the American economy. And people spend so much money on going to sporting events, sporting gear, buying their favorite player's jersey. Look at this, just to dip into basketball for a minute. I'm in LA, or I'm in California, not LA. I'm in San Diego, but the nearest NBA team is LA. So we'll talk about the LA Lakers for a minute here. Look at these salaries, and look what's happening with the Lakers. Even if you're not into sports, take a look at this. It's very interesting. And it has to do with financial and the economy. And this is the top 10 highest NBA players, their salaries. And keep in mind, this has to do with you and me, or maybe not you and me directly, but our neighbors, our coworkers, people spending money on sports, watching sports. TV advertising is part of this too. People watching sports on TV, attending the games, buying the jerseys or buying the gear from the teams, all enables this, right? So people like you and me, our spending enables these players to make this much money. Here's the top 10 salaries in the NBA. Stephen Curry, is it Stephen? $159.6 million, folks. Wow. LeBron James, he's not even playing right now. $137 million. This is his whole contract. He's age 40. The interesting part about this, he's not even playing, and the Lakers have started the season with one of their best starts ever. So without one of the highest players, even on the court, let's take a look at the record here starting off this year with the Lakers. Got the NBA year-to-date standings here. It's only been like 10 games or something, 10, 11 games. Western Conference, Lakers, 8 wins, 3 losses. It was 8-2 before they had a loss in their last game. 8-3, but 8-2 before this last loss. That was, I think, tied for their best start without the highest paid player. Right? So people are wondering, why are we paying this guy so much when we're having one of the best starts to the year we've ever had? And you see these people making money like this, and you're like, wow, sometimes it doesn't even make a difference. But because of the name, then they still get a paycheck because people go to the games to see this player because he's famous, because he's iconic, even though he's not that good of a player anymore, right? It's pretty interesting. And when you look at CEO pay, a lot of it's like that as well. If the CEO was that valuable, are the CEOs that valuable? Are they doing enough to help the company, or are they just there to collect a bunch of money or to have a big name behind the company? But what do you think about this? I mean, the Lakers, whether you love sports, hate sports, don't watch basketball, it's very interesting that these players are making that much money because people are just willing to go into debt and spend money on watching these games. By the way, let's round out the top 10 NBA. Got number 3, Kevin Durant, $104 million. $99 million for Giannis. I'm not even going to try to say his last name. I'll just bring it up on the screen. I don't watch a lot of sports, so I don't know how they pronounce it. I watch Lakers games every now and then because you got Luka Doncic on there, scoring a bunch of points. Jason Tatum, $79 million. Anyways, it's an article over at Forbes if you want to check out the rest of them. But what I wanted to get into next was the AI taking more jobs. And it's not just the occupations that you would think of. It's actually entertainment. Entertainment. How many videos have you watched? Commercials have you watched? And it's a AI voice. So they used to pay people to do these voiceovers for commercials, and they still do. But are those jobs going to be around in 3 or 5 years? Are actors going to be replaced? Musicians are already being replaced. We've got a number 1 song on the country charts right now is an AI song. Number 1 country song in America. AI generated. I gave it a listen. You could tell it's AI, but still not a bad song. According to Billboard, country digital song sales chart, the number 1 song, Walk My Walk by Breaking Rust, which is not even a real artist. It's somebody's imagination or somebody's thoughts that they typed in the prompt, and AI came up with the song. Maybe they had to tweak it. Maybe they wrote the lyrics, maybe not. But either way, the recording, the sounds are just AI. It's created by artificial intelligence. So some people are saying that this is bad, and there's the logo, by the way, for the song. They're saying this is bad because it's going to take the jobs and it's not real music. Well, look at it like this. Music's been artificially made for a long time. Not 100%, but a lot of the music we hear is artificial, right? Drums you hear on 99% of the songs on the radio, they're not real drums. They're electronic drums, or they're samples, right? It's very rare that you have now a song on the radio where somebody actually played the drums and hit the drums with a stick. So things have been headed this direction for a long time. We're talking about non-human created music. This is just the next step in the evolution of non-human created music. And now it's like nothing is made for real anymore except for the thought of who put in the prompt to bring this up here. In my humble opinion, I would say that who cares? If the song's good, what does it matter? All right, and I'll give you an analogy here. I think this is a good analogy. If somebody mowed your lawn and charged you, let's say, $15, it was a nice job. They cut it very short. It was even, and it was a great deal. Wow, $15. And it took them 10 minutes because they had the nicest mower. They had the ones that had the wide base so they can cover more ground. They can get it done very quickly. And then the same lawn next week, you got somebody else to do it. They charge you the same price. And it looks just as good. But this person said they cut it with scissors. It took them all day. As long as the grass is short and looks nice, does it matter if it was cut with scissors and took them all day, or if it was cut with a very expensive lawnmower? To me, and this is my opinion, let me know what you think, the same thing with music. If it sounds good, if it's a good song, who cares if a bunch of people got in a room and played instruments and it took them hours and hours to write the song, maybe weeks, maybe months. If you look at some artists, it took them years to make an album. There's a documentary about Metallica. It took them like a year and a half to make one of their albums. I'm just a Metallica fan, so I use that. Now, type in a few prompts, you maybe have a hit song or a really good song that you have to tweak a little bit in a matter of minutes. But at the end of the day, if it's a good song and you like the song and you're singing along and it makes you feel a certain way, doesn't matter if it took a year to make or 10 minutes to make if it's the same song. All right. And I'm not saying the AI songs sound like real artists. You could still tell. I can tell. But in a couple of years, I don't think you'll be able to tell. I think it's going to be untraceable or unnoticeable, the differences between AI and real songs. I mean, let me know what you think about that down in the comments. But that's just another example of jobs that are going to be taken. Here's another one. I don't think there's going to be any insurance agents in a few years because most people get insurance over the phone now. I think there'll still be real estate agents because they have to go out to the house, open up the door, walk people around, sign contracts. But insurance, most people do that over the phone. And I think in about 3 to 5 years, it's going to be all computer, all AI generated. It's going to be a voice prompt. Like when you first call, you go through the menu. Hit 1 if you want. Hit 2 if you want. Blah, 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 pay a bill. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be, all automated AI in 5 years or less. That's my call. We'll see in 2020, 2030. We'll see by then if that's the case. I think real estate agents are going to be around. There's going to be a lot less of them. I think insurance agents are going to be almost eliminated. I think there's going to be some people that are always going to want a real person or an office to walk into and shake somebody's hand. There's always going to be a small demand for that. Just like some people still buy records because they think records sound better. And I can see their point. The sound isn't as sharp on records. Like I had a friend, went over his house. He has record collection. I'll never give it up. Cranked up this record very loud, and it didn't hurt my ears. It was like loud. You could feel the bass hitting your chest, but it didn't hurt my ears. A CD or a digital streaming, the high end is so sharp it actually hurts your ears. I'm just going to get into audio for a minute here, but I'm just talking about how some people hang on to the past. There's a reason people like records. The sound actually isn't as harsh. It's more of a fuller sound, if that makes sense. It's not as harsh. It's not as sharp. The high end doesn't split your eardrums open like the cymbals and the high end notes. In records, it sounds more compressed or it sounds more full and not as sharp. That's the way I can explain it. Same thing with certain occupations. People are going to want to talk to a live person in some cases, not always. Me, if I can get a cheaper price over the phone instead of walking into an agent's office somewhere, I'll take the cheaper price over the phone. But that's just my opinion here. A couple things to get into, folks. I know we're hitting on a lot of different things today, but take a look at this. And this has to do with stimulus checks and how some people are just going to go spend it. Take a listen.
So I got my $2,000 tariff check today. Not gonna lie, I genuinely thought that wasn't going to happen, but here we are.
Did you hear what she said? She said she got her check. Either she's mistaken or it's happening, but nobody's reporting it, right? There's reports that checks are supposed to go out, but I haven't heard people getting it until this video came up.
That wasn't going to happen, but here we are. So I'm like, what am I going to spend it on? Kind of feel like I probably should save it and spend it on Christmas, but I'm also like, my man's going to get a $2,000 check too, so.
She said I should probably save it and spend it on Christmas. Save it and spend it. So you're not saving it, you're spending it.
Well, who cares? He can buy Christmas this year. What should I buy with my $2,000 tariff check? I feel like I should spend it on myself because we've had to deal with the nonsense for the last, 60 days? Also wondering, is my kid gonna get one? Is it only for adults? And my man didn't get his yet, but my name also starts with an A, so it could very well be
Hey, my last name starts with an A, and I didn't get mine. I haven't checked my mail yet today, though. I'll let you know tomorrow if I get it.
Alphabetic system. Any other A names get their tariff check? But I think I'm gonna get my nails done, my hair done, get a couple new pairs.
Listen to this, folks. In a country where people are waiting hours to get food, she's getting her hair and nails done with the stimulus check. Do you see what's happening here yet? Do you see why when you go out, it looks like the economy's booming? People are just spending money as soon as they get it.
The shoes, buy a good meal, some filet mignon. I don't even want to tell you guys what I spent my Doge check on because I wasn't really responsible with that one either. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you got your tariff check today.
Folks, that's the average U.S. consumer. They're going to spend it as soon as they get it. And the more they get, the more they're going to spend. They're not going to save it. She used the word save, meaning she was going to save it and for next month and spend it on Christmas instead of spending it here in November, folks. Does it get any more insane than this? Let me know what you think about the NBA players, AI taking over musician jobs, insurance agent jobs. Do you agree, disagree? What do you think about that? Very interesting times, folks. Stimulus checks, do you expect them or not? If she's telling the truth, I mean, they're already being sent out, but we'll wait and see. We'll see how it goes. And is it going to cause more inflation? I think it will. It's going to be highly inflationary because people are just going to go spend them. That's going to cause retailers and people selling things to charge more because now people have more money so they can charge more. All right. And people have no willpower. They'll just go ahead and pay whatever. So anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye, everybody. See you next time. Peace.